Hi guys and gals, Oily Prepper here. There's a lot of people that don't know where to begin on building their own fire in a fireplace, wood burning stove, whatever. So we have an old low pie. We want to upgrade it sometime soon to a more efficient version, but this one does really well for our little farmhouse here. There was a lot of people during this recent ice storm here in western Oklahoma that would have killed to have had one of these in their home, as we were out of electric for a long time. Some people are still out of electric. Today is January 4th, 2016, and there are a lot of people that have been out for well over a week now. We were out for 6 days. We got our electric back on January 1st in the evening. Thank God. Also my husband's birthday. So we were very happy about that. A few things I want to show you first is I have everything set up here, but I wanted to show you I have a little container with fat wood in it. If you don't have fat wood, get you an old bucket, preferably metal since it's going to be near the fireplace, and put twigs, you know, just small twigs in there so that you have it handy to get your fire going. I have my ash bucket here. It's just an old metal bucket, and it serves a purpose. You can see it through my window there. It's about time to dump it. My stove isn't anything super clean or, you know, anything like that. I'm not, it's for function, not for looks. When I first got it, I was real picky. I wanted every little speck of dust off of it, and it's just, that's a lot of work. So, cleaned my glass already, and have my fireplace pretty much scooped out. You know, there's a few little remainders of ashes in there, but that's not a big deal. To start my fire, I have 2 logs about equal length and close to equal height. One's a little bigger than the other one, but it'll work. Excuse me. And then I save dryer lint from my dryer throughout the year. I put it in those containers, those metal containers with the lids that come at Christmas time that have popcorn and stuff in them, and I just sit one on the back of my dryer and use it. So I just kind of stuff, trying to do this one-handed, so this is kind of interesting sometimes. Okay, so you just stuff your lint in between the 2 logs, and I cheat a little bit, but you know, like I said, you can use twigs instead. But I have fat wood, and I actually just take some fat wood and tuck it on that. I tuck it on that. It's really hard to do this from a one-handed position. But I just tuck my fat wood kind of in there, sort of like twigs, so that it will be there and kind of get ignited by that lint. That's where you'd put your twigs in instead if you had twigs. I have 2 logs ready to go to put on top, and another one right here to put on top of those when I get done. You can use a lighter at this point, but I use these little Strike-a-Fires. It's called Strike-a-Fire. I got these at Walmart, and I just bought a box, you know, several boxes of them so that I had them and had them handy. But I take one of my logs, and I like it to be flat, the one I'm putting on top of these, so that it doesn't roll, because once those get on fire, that's not real good if they're rolling around. Like, say you have to stoke up your fire a little more or something, and this one's on fire and it tries to roll out. So I try to use my split wood for putting on top of there. So hold on, and I'll get this set up a little better for you. One big mistake that people make is that they put these bottom logs really far apart. The logs need to be close together. They need to have enough room for air to flow through, but they need to be close enough together that the chemical reaction for the fire is they're playing off of each other. So that's a big mistake that a lot of people make, and that's why a lot of times their fires don't start. Another thing is, after a while, the inside of this log, these logs, once they're burning, they will tend to burn away from the center out, and so then they're not close enough together, so your fire doesn't get going as good as it should. So you can take your fire poker, which is what I have here, and I just hook onto the sides of those and just scooch them together a little more, and that helps. So let me get the rest of this set up and we'll go from there. Okay, everybody does theirs differently, but I took another flat log and I set it towards the front, still fairly close to the log that's back behind it, but you know, a little further apart than my bottom ones. And then I took another one and then just kind of catty cornered it right there, as you can see. And now I'm going to use my Strike-A-Fires. These are just waxed coated matches, so to speak. They've got compressed wood, I think, in there. So, and then they have wax, so they last a while and they get that fire stoking without you having to babysit it. But if you don't have it, of course, you just put your twigs in there and in your lint and light it with your lighter or your fire still. But let me see if I can strike this. The great thing about these Strike-A-Fires is they have a matchbox or a striking surface right on the box. So I just strike it and then I put it in there and I get it going good, and then I kind of shove that back in there so that that lint's catching. When you're doing your fire, make sure your little vent things are open, because air's got to flow through to feed that fire. Once you get your fire up to temperature, you can have a temperature gauge that you buy for your fireplace on your fireplace and watch it. And when it gets up to the where it says burn zone on the top center, then you want to shut your little air vents down a little bit, and that will keep it from burning up too quickly, because it's up to temperature, and you don't want your fireplace too hot because it's not as effective that way either, and it's not good. It can catch stuff on fire. So I'm going to shut this, and you'll see this fire really take off once I do, because then the ventilation from the flue up in there, it is sucking that fire up through that, so it goes through all the wood there. And this is usually pretty efficient. If for some reason that doesn't quite do it, I scoot my logs a little closer together or add a few more twigs or fat wood, and that'll get it going. Another great feature is we spent the money this last year and bought a little, this is a fan that clips to the bottom of the fireplace, and when you turn it on, it pushes the air out. These little vent holes right here. And that has really helped us a lot, pushing the air through into the rest of the house. So, some great, because we used to, before we had that, we could come in here in the dining room and it was burning up in here, but it was still real chilly in the living room until, you know, once the living room got hot, it got hot. But this has sure made a difference in quickly dispersing that heat. So, there's my beautiful fire going, and you can hear it crackling. I love the sound of it. Anyway, God bless everyone. Love you. If you have any questions, holler. This is Oily Prepper signing off. And remember, a drop or two will do. And like and share, please. And sub me up. Thanks, guys.